This is Matthew Big Daddy Montavon. He is a one-year wonder point guard from Oregon and has just declared for the NBA draft. He is a three-point specialist who lit up the NCAA, but headed into the NBA is only a 36 overall. 10,000 skill points would help increase his ability, but only by 1 overall point get into a 37. Before he entered the combine games, there was still more to do, however. We had 6 drills available and would use them all on shooting, and would get one last major upgrade before the NBA draft combine. We now had 3 games to try to prove to the NBA teams why they should draft Matthew, and since we weren't the greatest player, we needed to find a way to get a leg up on the competition. It may be cheap, but we were going with the cherry pick method, but also showing who could pass the ball as well. And with shooting being our best attribute, anytime the defense would leave us open, we'd have to make them pay. Off to a good start already in this first game, we had 8 points in the second quarter, and on this fast break chance, we would draw a foul and go to the line to make it 10 points. We were in the double digits for points now, but needed to get our assist numbers up, but that didn't mean we were going to pass up a chance for points whenever we could. We seemed to be in a bit of a cold slump here in the third quarter, so it was back to try to get some assists. And with the way we were playing, we had a great teammate grade and were blowing out the other team. It was the fourth quarter and we still weren't done scoring as we'd make it to 16 points. And then we'd show our moves off the dribble as we'd pull up from mid-range to knock down another one. And we would end the first game of this combine with a big time win and completing almost all of our goals with a great stat line to get a very nice skill point boost. Using those newfound skill points, we would move up to a 38 overall, but despite our great performance, we were only projected to be the 25th pick of the draft. We had a chance to change that as we still had 2 games left and were off to a great start in number 2. Not only did we get an early bucket, but we would also get an early assist to Evan Turner, and the passes kept coming with a pick and roll to DeMarcus Cousins. We were still waiting for our first 3-pointer of the game, and it would come off of this fast break cherry pick opportunity. But after a great scoring output last game, I think we were doing a great job of showing how we could pass the ball just as well this time. It was nearing the end of the first half and we only had 5 points, so we would find ourselves wide open for 3, and despite the cold slump we were in to end the first half, we would knock that down and would go right back to picking up assists in the second half. Even though we were doing a great job of passing the ball, we weren't going to pass up wide open shot attempts. And with all the attribute upgrades we had already made so far, it was more than likely that we would knock down any open shot. With just under 4 minutes to go in the game, we were up by 10 and we're looking to extend it to 12 with this layup. And that would also get our teammate grade up to an A- as we were looking for at least one more 3-pointer and would knock it down in the right corner. Like I said earlier though, we weren't going to pass up wide open shots as the great team would leave us wide open for 3. And in this second showcase game, we would walk away with a 21-point 4-assist performance and would end up completing all 3 objectives we had out set for this game. With that 1600 skill point boost, we would add those directly to our skills. And now we had one final draft combine game before the NBA draft. We had to do everything in our power this game to try to raise our draft stock as we were still slotted to go in the mid-20s, which that made absolutely no sense to me as we were putting on the best individual performance. Not only were we performing extremely well as an individual, but we were helping our team win, as so far we were 2-0 and undefeated in our draft combine games. I don't know what it was that wasn't causing our draft stock to rise up, but we were going to need to do whatever we could this game. And we were off to a great start as we already had double-digit points in the first half alone. After scoring some more points, we were going back to the passing game to try to rack up some more assists, and along with those, the buckets just kept falling for us in the first half today. I would take a 14-point, 1 rebound, 3 assist first half as we still had the entire second half to play, and it was looking like we were going to help our team finish 3-0 in the draft combine games. Up by 14, they would leave us wide open for a mid-range jump shot to go up by 16, and again, after 2 games, I don't know why they would keep leaving us wide open for 3 like this. Just under a minute and a half to go in this game and we were up by over 20 points, where once again we had reached 24 points on the game, but this time we were going to make it 27 at the buzzer, and there is literally nothing more we could do to help our draft stock as we played absolutely phenomenal through these 3 games of the draft combine. We would make one last attribute upgrade here before the NBA draft, and it was finally time to see where we'd be starting our career. Surprisingly, we didn't go in the top 10 picks and we had to wait for a while to hear our name called. And I don't know how, but we slid all the way down to number 24 where we would be drafted by the Atlanta Hawks. Our roster spot wasn't solidified just yet as we still had to get through the summer league, so it was into the gym we went to keep working on our shooting. And after another attribute upgrade, we were a 38 overall headed into the summer league. It was time for our very first game with the Atlanta Hawks summer league squad and the other rookies. And we were getting off to a hot start, showing we could not only pass the ball but hit the three as well. The 3 turnovers early on in the first quarter alone wasn't a great look for us though, but hopefully we were going to turn things around here with our scoring ability. We would rack up 7 points, 1 rebound, and 1 assist in the first half of this game, and already in the second half, we were off to a great start as we knocked down this deep 2-pointer. On a bit of a cold streak here, and we were still looking for our second 3-pointer of the night to complete an objective, and we would finally knock that down as well as picking up our second assist of the night, rounding out this game with not a bad performance even though we would lose by 1 point to the Clippers in our very first game. It was time to bounce back and look for a win here, taking on the New Orleans Hornets, and it was a slow first quarter for us, however, only scoring 4 points. We really seemed to make some strides defensively this game as we would come away with multiple steals that would result in easy points for us, and it also seemed like those shooting drills we've been doing were paying off as our shot off the dribble was looking fantastic. Nearing the end of the first half, we would come away with another steal that would result in easy fast break points for us, as just like in the draft combine games, fast breaks were the easiest way for us to score points. We'd already scored as many points as we did last game, and it was only the third quarter, so I was interested in seeing how many points we could score as we still had the entire fourth quarter to play tonight. Unfortunately, we would not be playing much in the fourth, but would eclipse 20 points, and we would have another solid outing with our summer league squad as this time we would pick up the win. 2 games down and 2 to go as we were now taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers in our third game of the summer league, and we were looking to improve off of a 21-point performance last game. We had the hot hand early on the fast break as I thought this was a 3-pointer, but our foot was on the line, and the fast break points were coming early and often for us in this one. The one thing our coach wanted to see us improve was our passing ability as we were a point guard, so we were going to try to find some more opportunities to pick up assists, but weren't going to pass up wide open shots like this. The Cavaliers were keeping this a very closely contested game throughout the second quarter today, but our ability to fill the lane on the fast break and find some open shots was helping us keep the lead. The biggest transition though for us in the summer league was learning how to play off the ball with Jeff Teague here as he would find us open for 3, and hopefully that would be a great backcourt duo if both of us make the team for the regular season. Surprisingly, we were getting a good amount of picks here in the third quarter just off of the pick and roll, so we were definitely showing coach how versatile we could be as a teammate in all aspects of the offense. After the third quarter though, we would get pulled and wouldn't see any playing time in the fourth quarter to none, and that assist would give us our highest total of the season so far as we would rake up 5 of them in this win. And now we were headed into the final game of the summer league series. We were 2-1 and wanted to see if we could finish this circuit 3-1, but more importantly, we wanted to play well to make sure we made the team. It still wasn't a given that we would make the team even though we made the first 3 rounds of cuts in the summer league, so we had to survive one more game here, but this one wasn't off to a great start for us against Memphis. Our team had only scored 10 points in the entire first half so far, and we had scored 6 of them, and the other 6 points came from the 3 assists we had in our stat line as well. We just couldn't seem to get anything going all game as finally we would hit down a 3 to break our ice cold spell, but it just wouldn't be enough as this was by far our worst performance and our team's worst performance in the entire summer league so far. Despite that poor performance from us in the final game, we would end up making the Atlanta Hawks final roster, and to celebrate, we had to get some new custom shoes as we were going to be rocking the Nike Hyperdunk 2010s. That's where this episode is going to end, and next episode will start with the regular season as we see if Matthew Montavon can climb up the Atlanta Hawks rotation.